He is a hero. He's a guy that's in his 60s, 41 years, and he's leading from where we want our sergeants to lead, from the front.
Manzano surrendered just before 10:30 yesterday. He was shot as well as his son. They were both taken to the hospital, and HPD says charges are imminent. Back to you.
Janelle, thank you. There are so many messages of love and support for Sergeant Preston and his family. I'm going to start with this one from Chief Art Acevedo. You just heard from him, but he also tweeted, "Those of us who knew, loved, and respected Sergeant Preston knew him to be a wonderful, courageous, and humble servant from an amazing family." He adds, "We will never forget. R.I.P. kind hero. We will celebrate you." The Houston Police Officers Union also shared this photo from a pinning ceremony, calling the loss such a senseless tragedy. And there was just an outpouring from the law enforcement community, from neighboring agencies like Pasadena Police to Miami Beach, even Nebraska State Patrol. One of the points we saw over and over again was that Sergeant Preston was just days away from retirement. We heard from the Police Officers Union that that was about 2 weeks away. And you guys shared your messages on our Facebook page. Every post about the shooting yesterday was just full of hundreds of comments like these, lifting Sergeant Preston and his family up in your prayers. I'm going to wrap it up with this post from Karen, who says her eyes got teary reading the news. She writes, "You did not deserve this, officer. Thank you for dedicating your life to protecting others. You are definitely a true hero." She writes, "Flying high."